Доброго дня, просить.
Now, Ministry of Defense of Ukraine spokesperson on ATO-related issues Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk will inform us about the situation in the ATO zone during the last 24 hours. Good afternoon, everyone. Now, the information about the main events that happened in the ATO zone yesterday. The Lugansk sector, the main flash spot yesterday was Krymska village, where the enemy 5 times opened fire. And more than half of these shellings were with the use of mortars, lasted on average half hour each, and were both during light and during dark hours. And also, one instance of ceasefire violation was recorded in Stanitsa Lugansk and one in Troitsk. And in the last case, the shelling lasted for about 1 hour, and the enemy launched about 25 mines at our positions. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Lugansk sector, there were 7 shellings recorded, including 4 with the use of heavy weapons by the enemy. The Donetsk sector, the situation is tense near Avdiivka, and right after midnight for 1 hour the enemy opened fire with the use of large caliber machine guns. After this it was calm until 6 p.m. And after this, until the end of the day, the enemy opened fire more intensively than in the first instance, and also used grenade launchers of different systems and launched several mines in the region of industrial zone. Also, the forces of the enemy opened fire in Pisky and Zaitsevo using small arms and weaponry of armored vehicles. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Donetsk sector, the enemy violated ceasefire 8 times, including 1 instance with the use of mortars in Avdiivka industrial zone. The Mariupol sector, the day started with enemy armed provocations in Shirokino, and until late in the evening, the militants opened fire with the use of small arms 5 times. The shelling lasted from 30 minutes up to 1 hour, and repeatedly the enemy used weaponry of APCs. In the north, the enemy violated ceasefire in Gnutovo, Pavlopil, Bogdanovka, Novotroitsk, and Mariinka. And all these shellings were provocative. At the same time, in Mariinka, the enemy launched 2 mines, and this was the only instance of the use of heavy weapons by the enemy in Mariupol sector yesterday. And the majority of shellings were provocative, but in grave instances, ATO forces returned fire. On the whole, in this sector, there were 12 enemy shellings yesterday. During the last 24 hours, and the result of the military actions, fortunately, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed, but 2 servicemen were wounded. These losses happened in Avdiivka. And now, an update about training of Ukrainian armed forces. National Guard servicemen hold firing exercises on firing ground. First, they were briefed on safety and had tactics and combat training. Firing exercises will last for a week in order to encompass all the detachments of the unit. In Kirovogradsky and Odessa Oblast, they completed training for detachments of territorial defense. Several hundred of participants took part. There were intensive training for infantry, and according to current legislation on territorial defense units, these detachments can participate in guarding facilities of state and bodies of power, and to serve at checkpoints and maintain martial law rules. If there are no questions, thank you.